Find the thing you do for free, then charge the world because you made it indispensable. I hit that intersection years ago, and I'm so lucky to live in it now. Flow isn't my weekend hobby. It's how I live day to day, and I want you there too.
その自分がやろうと思った仕事、それにもう没頭しなきゃダメです。好きにならなきゃダメです。それ自分の仕事に惚れなきゃダメなんですよ。だから自分がこれを覚えようと思ったら、それもう必死になって死に物狂いでやるということが成功にもつながるだろうし。
Meet Jiro Ono, the sushi monk who's taken the same pre-dawn path to making the world's best sushi since 1951. The default world out there stashes fun on one shelf and income on another. When you fuse them, the math of compounding flips. Nose to stone, you lose track of time, and the curve starts lifting on autopilot. In Japan, they call that devotion shokunin kishitsu, craft perfected for its own sake. Craft is how you make something people want. Let's get into it. Compounding is 1,000 invisible tweaks stacking until reality can't ignore you. Brian Chesky of Airbnb calls it the 10-star experience. Hit the obvious 5 stars, then hunt for 5 more only a zealot would notice. Jiro does this every day before breakfast.
これが買えなかったら、じゃあこっちにしようっていうのは僕の下付けの中にないんですよ。いい魚って1本しか、その10本あって一番いいのっていうのは1本しかないわけじゃないですか。だからそれを買いますよ。
Decades of bidding at dawn forged trust so tight, the vendor saves one tuna for Jiro only. Trust itself compounds over time. In startups, we call that a moat, and one of the most powerful ones, a cornered resource.
温度、ご飯の温度も大切、味も大切ですけど、温度っていうのはとても大切なんですね。お寿司だとみんな冷たいもんだと思ってるけれども、それにご飯の温度っていうのは体温と同じぐらいが一番いいから、じゃあ冷めないようにするにはどうしたらいいかっていうことを考えて。
The craft is that exacting. Not just the cooking, not just the sourcing of the rice, but the temperature of the rice at the time you eat it matters too. Tiny tweak, taste nirvana. Multiply by 1,000 like that, and you're getting close to understanding what craft is.
これができないとまずお魚を触らせてくれない。で、触らせてくれてお魚をこう仕込みができるようになって10年ぐらい経つと卵を焼かせてもらえるんです。
3ヶ月ぐらい、半年ぐらいですかね。だいたい200枚ぐらい失敗で、やっとできるようになった時に、これでいいっておやさんが言ってくれたんですね。その時もう嬉しくて涙が出てしまって。
Good people hit a target every time. The genius hits a target you can't even see. That's what 200 silent failures buy you. If you want to have tamago, the perfection comes only after the pursuit. Every micro improvement is interest on the principle of yesterday's work. You don't notice the curve for years. Then it jackknifes upward and people call you brilliant overnight. Can you imagine applying this level of craft to your own work right now? List 20 flaws in your product right now and fix one every day. In 100 days, that product might be much, much better. And in 1,000 days, that might be transcendent. That is compounding's secret handshake. How does a sushi master teach us, the people who want to create technology, how to do that better? Look no farther than Steve Jobs.
The group of people that do not use quality in their marketing are the Japanese. It's only the American companies that do. And yet, if you ask people on the street which products have the best reputation for quality, they will tell you the Japanese products. Customers don't form their opinions on quality from marketing. They form their opinions on quality from their own experience with the products or the services.
But how do we actually get there? Well, first you've got to realize the version that you've made right now, it might be bad. Like bad tamago, you've got to see what your tasters are experiencing and see it. It might be bad, and that's okay. Here's the creator of Dyson on how he does it.
One golden rule of development is that you make one change at a time.
All right.
If you make one change at a time, you know what effect it's had.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas if you make two changes, you don't know, you haven't learnt anything. It's pedantic, empirical testing, prototype after prototype. I mean, failure is much more exciting than success.
Failure teaches us the way to success. We find it, we fix it, and we do the next version and find where it breaks again. I did this at my startup. I did it at Palantir. We would always get to 0 bugs in a given release and leave time to do that, to get to 0 bugs at the end of any given cycle. In a time of fast iteration, it's easy to forget this part and just ship it. That's not okay. Product quality is a lot like design. It's about how the product actually works. Here's John Carmack, one of the legendary game engineers behind Doom and Quake, the first shooter games ever.
We are our own best testing team, and we should never allow anyone else to experience bugs or see the game crash. Test thoroughly before checking in your code. No throwing it over the fence for testers to find. And as soon as you see a bug, you fix it. You don't keep working. If you don't fix your bugs, your new code will be built on buggy code and ensure an unstable foundation. And if you check in buggy code, someone else is going to be writing code based on your bad code.
This, on the one hand, is very obvious, and you'd be amazed how few engineers and founders adhere to this. You've got to see something, say something, fix it. Don't just move on. Don't work on big feature work when your code is already buggy. At Microsoft, you would never be allowed to ship code when it was literally full of bugs. It just wouldn't be okay. And not only that, you wouldn't be allowed to keep working on new feature work if you hadn't fixed those other bugs. When you cut releases to users and deploy, you want to deploy your main branch with 0 known bugs. Do this and you'll be way ahead of the game. Here are the 3 things you've got to keep in mind to be able to put craft into your practice. First, you've got to know pull. These are the problems that are so painful, users pay to erase them. When you create something of great value, your customers and users will literally pull the product right out of you. Your inbox will be overflowing. They'll say, "Take my money." Second is play. Find a way to make solving these problems as fun as play for you. Play that warps time because you're in flow, that you know you are at the edge of your capability but still doing it. You're learning, you're growing. That's gotta be there. Finally, you've got to outlast. It's going to take a commitment that is beyond what any of your competitors are willing to replicate. Keep doing it. Sit dead center, and compounding does the heavy lifting. Sushi critic Masahiro Yamamoto says, "A great chef has the following 5 attributes. They take their work very seriously and consistently perform on the highest level. Second, they aspire to improve their skills. Third, cleanliness. Fourth, impatience. They are better leaders than collaborators. They're stubborn and insist on having things their own way. And finally, a great chef is passionate." The impatience is pull. You see what could be great, and a great founder or chef is impatient to bring it out. There's the desire, a desire that comes from both the chef and creator, as it does from the diner or customer. It's a fusion, a oneness, a true empathy for what's going on for the customer. And can you be pulled? If you find a way to take your work seriously, cook cleanly and of high quality, and inspire others to do so, then that to me makes craft into a form of play. When I was able to run an organization that pointed all my designers and engineers towards making users happy, that felt amazing. It didn't feel like work even a single day. Working today at Y Combinator, it doesn't feel like work at all. And finally, what Yamamoto says first is actually to outlast. Can you consistently perform at the highest level? Then, and only then, can you be truly great. I dare you to pick your lane and start down the road of building today, right now. A decade from now, you might find that you found a way to become the greatest in the world at that lane you chose just now. If you have belief, if you have the skills, then what are you waiting for? The masterpiece might begin in your own hands, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. All right, that's it for this week. Hit subscribe and the bell icon, and drop a list of things that you need to fix in your product right now in the comments. I read every one of your comments. And share this with a friend who is still hunting for their lane. I'm Garry Tan, and I'll see you next time.